Hello everyone. So in this video today, we will learn about how do we cite references in an article. So for example, if you're a bachelor student writing your bachelor thesis, or you are a master student writing master thesis, or you are a PhD student writing a paper which you want to submit, or whatever, if you are writing some kind of report where you need to cite some article. So if you want to cite somebody else's work, and you want to cite that particular paper, so how do we do that? So in this particular video, we will do that using LATEX, or LATEX, however you want to pronounce it. And we will use a package called BibLatex. So using that, we'll be citing the articles that we want to. So we'll go step by step, but before that I would just like to show you what do we want to achieve. So I'm right now writing a paper which we want to submit to a journal. So in that paper I'm citing references and everything. So I would just like to first show you what do we want to achieve. So for example, this is a PDF of the manuscript which I'm still writing right now. So we have the title, abstract, introduction. So for example here, so let's say I've written a line: calcium entry leads to the fusion of synaptic vesicles with the membrane and so on. And here I want to cite this particular thing. So I have a citation here. Or for example, here I've written whatever lines I want to write, and this is an article which I have cited here. And if you click on this, then we go to the bottom here. So in the references, and we have the article here: regulation of information processing by synaptic transmission, so on. And also I have given a URL link here, so you can click on this. And if you click this, so I don't have my internet, so let me just connect to the internet. So if you click on that particular link, then it will lead you to that particular paper. Okay, so this is what we want to do today, that we write some kind of article, and in that, so in the below, we create a references list, and in here we have all the list of the references, and we also have the URL link for that. So how do we do this? Using LATEX. And wherever we cite an article, so in between here, so for example this article, so if you click on this, then it can go down there. So this will be our aim, and there are multiple ways to do this. So people also write using Microsoft Word, or online you can also do it using Overleaf if you want to use LATEX online. But normally, like, I don't use Word, so I'm not doing that. And yeah, so for LATEX also, I normally prefer to do it offline on my computer. So if you want to know like how can you run LATEX offline, like on your computer locally and everything, so for that I had made a separate video. So I'll give the link to that video in the description, so you can watch that on how to install MikTeX, TeXmaker and so on, and then how you can run LATEX locally. Or else you can also use online LATEX editor. So you have overleaf.com, and then there you can also do all of these things online. So whatever you want to do. So with this introduction, let's start. So first, let me just for reference. So voltage calcium paper. So let me just open the tex file for the voltage calcium paper. And this is normally like, yeah, how it looks like. So this is the tex file for my complete article which I just showed you. So we will go step by step, make a new article, and then we'll start. So this is the TeXmaker which I use. Okay, so first let's just start with a new article, a blank document, and then let's just build it step by step. So the first thing you need to mention is, so we start with the document class. So we mention 12 point, so how big your letter should be, and then we mention here the type of the document that we want to write. So here I'm writing article. Okay, and then we start with, let's say, title. So in title I want to write how to cite references in LATEX. Okay, so that's our title. And then we're going to write the author, let's say. So Abhishek Mishra. Okay. And then we begin our document. Okay. So begin and then the document. Okay. So the first thing we do is make title, and then let's say I just write some random things. So this is an article to show how to cite references. Okay, so first let me just run this. A document must be saved. So yeah, first you need to save this document. So let's say file save as, and for example, let's say I just save it on my desktop and I create a new folder. So LATEX tutorial, and in this folder now all the file will be created. So we need to give a file name. So cite references underscore tut. Okay, so that's the file name. So now I can just save it, and if I run it, then okay, so the first thing which you want to check here is in the tech maker preferences. So later, so you can go to this quick build here. So later what we will see is that we need to change to this particular quick build command, that is PDF LaTeX and then BibLatex and then PDF LaTeX and then view PDF. But for now we will just do this, like PDF LaTeX plus view PDF, because right now we haven't already used this BibLatex package. That's why we got an error. But later when we want to cite references and everything, then we will have to use BibLatex package, and then in the quick build command we have to select this particular thing here. Okay, so for now let's just use the simple one. So if you run this, then I get this article here, and if I just go to my desktop and LaTeX tutorial, so here you also get this particular PDF. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to cite references, let's say. So what do we do to cite references? So the first thing which you need to do is you need a .bib file. Okay, and before that we'll be using BibLatex. So let's just write for that. So I will just, so for example here, this line that we have here, use package, and then these are the options, and we have the BibLatex here. Okay, so let me just copy it from here and paste it here, and let's just write this line once more so that you can follow it properly. So use package, and then, so these are all the different options which we can write here, and here we will use BibLatex. Okay, so we'll be using this, and you can also just Google what is BibLatex and you'll get all the other options that you can use. So the first thing is we have cite style. Okay, so this is like, yeah, how do you want your references to be displayed? So cite style, author here I comp, and then bib style. So again, this is the style that you want to have. So here I have just chosen like the style nature. So nature is an article, a journal. So bib style nature, and this ibit tracker is something which I did at false, because what it happens is that normally it when we display the references, then it also shows this ISSN number, which I don't want. So that's why I have done this as false. And I have also given one more option, sorting is equal to YNT. So this sorts like on the basis of year. So the ones which is published, the latest one, so it will be below. And so for example, if you have an article in 2022, so it will be below, and if you have an article from 2000, then it will be upward. So in that particular sequence, it will sort all of these things. So we have this package that we use here. So now next thing what you want to do is you want to add a Bib resource. So from where will it get all the citations and everything? So for that, what we do is we add bib resource. Okay, so we have add bib resource. Okay, and here what you do is here you give the file name of the .bib file, right? So let's say I'm just giving here reference.bib. So we need to create this file right now. And yeah, so this is our resource, and from this file, it will try to find your references and then cite the article here. So let's start with citing some article. So first, okay, let me just cite my own article. So I had published a paper a few years back. So let me just try to cite that article. So let me just write here. First, I will cite my own article. So for this, what you can do is you can just go to Google and cite and search for your article, or the better way I would say is, okay, so first let me just cite my article. So it's in eLife journal, and then I will just go with Abhishek, Mishra, Jorgen Haag, Alexander Bose. So these are all the authors. So I'm just searching for that paper. So let me just go here. Yeah, so this is the paper which I want to cite, for example. Okay, so the thing what you can do is, so you can just copy the title and go to Google Scholar. Okay, so this is like how do we make the .bib file. Okay, so you can just go to Google Scholar, search for your article, and you'll get your article here, right? So now what we want to do is we can click on this site here. And when you click on this site, then you have different options here. So the one which you want to do is this bibtex. Okay, so now we just copy this thing from here, right? So you have the article, title, author, journal, volume, pages, year, publisher, and everything, right? So we just copy this thing from here, and then we go back to our text maker and we just make a new file. Okay, and in there we just paste this, right? And this is what we will use here. So I'll just change this name here. So we'll say, let's say Haag 2017, right? So this will be like the label for this particular reference which you want to have. And now I will save this one. Okay, so save as. So we'll go to the same folder where we are doing everything. So the LaTeX tutorial folder. And here I'll just create a file. Let's say references. I mean, you can give whatever you want to have, and I will just give the extension as references.bib. Okay, so this is a references.bib. So now we go back to our article here. So sorry, here we had written reference, so we'll just write a references.bib so that it looks for the correct file. And now what we do is, so now we have the bib resource here, and we have already added the article here in this file in this references. So now what we can do is, first I'll cite my own article. So we can write here parent cite, right? So this parent is like with the parenthesis, so it will come with a bracket, or you can just write cite as well. So parent cite, and then here you can write the name, the label here. So it was Haag 2017, right? So we will just write it here, Haag 2017, right? So first I will cite my own article. This article is for T4, T5, direction, selectivity. Just made a mistake, so it will just be T4 here. Okay, so we have this thing here. So I think we have everything set up now. So now the only thing which you need to change is, so you can go to text maker preferences, and now in this quick build command, so instead of PDF LaTeX and view PDF, so we need to have PDF LaTeX and then BibLatex. So we will choose this particular option here, go to OK, and now when we run this, then hopefully there should be citation. Yeah. So we have our citation here, Haag et al. 2017, but still, like, yeah, we don't have the references displayed here. So for that, what we need to do is we need to add one more line here. So let me just take it from here. So in the end, we need to add this particular line here, that is print bibliography. Okay, so let me go back here. So in the end, I just go here and then I write this line. So again, let me once again write this particular line so that you guys can follow. And yeah, it's just about practice. So just do it yourself. And then whenever you have some problem, just Google it and you will find the solution. So print bibliography and then heading is equal to bib in talk. Okay, so now if I again rerun this one, then hopefully there should be, yeah, there is the references. So you have the author names here, you have the title, and you have the journal and all of these things. So now, for example, what I also said was that we can also add the URL link, right? So for example, in my paper here, so in the references, when we go, so one is like, yeah, to make this clickable here. So we'll see that. And then also when I go to the references here, then I have also added one more, this DOI thing here, right? So if you click on this, then you are just directly redirected to the website of that particular paper. So the way I do this is, so what I do is that, so for example, let me just open the references which I actually use in my paper. So reference.bib. So for example here, and in the end, what I do is I add one more line here. So addendum, and then I give a hyper reference here, right? So what we can do is we can just copy this here, go to our references file, comma, and then we have this addendum here, right? So here what I have done is, so I've just given here href, right? And then http this dx.doi.org / and then this is the DOI of the article, right? So where you can get the DOI of the article. So for example, we were citing this particular thing here, right? So for example, here you already have this, right? So the DOI is here, right? So this is the URL. So this is a unique URL for all the articles. So you can just copy this DOI from here. And what you can do is you can go back to this, and in the addendum here, so addendum, like it adds to the end. So here you will get this DOI. Okay, so what you can do is, so this is the actual URL. So you can just change this part and then you can add your particular DOI here. And this is the text that will be displayed. Okay, so here I just changed this one once more. Okay, so if I want to write it once more so that you guys can follow, so let me just write. So we write addendum is equal to, and then what I'm doing here is that I'm making a URL link, right? So href, and always in the href, so the first entry here should be the URL that you want to have, right? So the URL is like, it will always be http and then colon, and then you have this two things, and then you will add this dx.doi.org / and then you will add the DOI of that particular article. Okay, so this is the first entry, and in the second entry you want to display whatever you want, right? So DOI, and then again I have the DOI of the article here. Okay, so let me just close this one, and now let's go back and let's try to run it. Okay, so we got an error, undefined control sequence argument / href. So the error, the reason we got this error is because we are using this thing called as href, right? So hyper reference. So this we can only use it with the package hyper reference. So we go back here, and then here we can add /use package, and then we go hyper ref. Okay, so now if we use this package, then it will identify the /href command, and then we will have this particular thing here. And yeah, sorry, I changed this one. So this was our hug 2017. So if we do this here, then we should have got, but let me just once check. Okay, so we didn't change this one. So this is hug and this is 2017. Okay, so now we go back, and now hopefully it should run. Right, so we have Hargetel 2017. This is clickable here. If you click this, you come here, and then this is the DOI, and if you click this one, then it will just open this particular thing here. Okay, and for example, let's say you want to display this in blue color, then HyperReference, you can do some settings. So for example, I have this here, so we have this as hyper setup. So let me just do this. So /hyper setup, color links is equal to true, site color is blue, so it will, like, whatever is clickable here will be displayed in blue, link color is blue, and then URL color is blue. So now if I run this, then what do I get? So I get this particular thing here, and then this is clickable, this is clickable. So if I just open this PDF here, so if you just reclose this one and then open it once again, so how to cite references in LaTeX. So now we have the reference here, so you can click on this, it will go to the references, and on the references we also have this DOI. You can click on this, and then this will take you the wherever you want. So this is how I normally prefer to do it. So let's say you want to add one more citation. So let's say I want to add one more citation. Okay, so whichever paper, so I want to cite this paper, right? So let's say which paper should I take? So so let's say I just take some publications, proposed publications. So Alexander Boast publications. So I'm just trying to just take any article. So let's go to the publications. So let's say I want to do this article here. Okay, so I just take the title here, and we go to Google Scholar once more, and then we type the name of that article. So we get that. So we take the site, so we take the bibtex, and we just copy it. So we go back to our tech, and then we go to our references.bib file, right? So there we just go and we paste it, right? And then you can change here whatever name you want to have, the label, so that we can write it. So we have this, so we just save this one, right? So Command S, and then we go back here, and now let's say I want to cite this paper. So again I write parent cite, and then now the label was Grossner 2022, right? So I just copy this and I go back here. So this is Grossner 2022, and I just write something. I hope this works. Okay, so now if I run this, then yeah, so we have Grossner et al 2022, and yeah, we have here. So now, for example, here we don't have DOI for this one, right? The clickable link. So if we want the DOI, then again we repeat the same process. So what we can do is we can just copy this line here, the addendum, or I can also write it once more if you want. So we have addendum, right? And then we want to make it a URL. So that's why we use this package HRef, and here will be the link you want to enter, and here will be the text which you want to have, right? So the link will always be HTTP, and then this thing here, and then we will have dx.doi .org/ and now we need the DOI of this particular article, right? So we can just click on this here. So let's say we go cite this article, then you will get the DOI here, right? So you can just copy this particular part here, and we can go back here, and we can just put that, and here it will be the text which we want to display. So whatever is displayed here, right? So we once again just write DOI, and then we write this particular thing here, okay, the URL. So now if I again go back to my main file and if I run this, then we should get a DOI. Yeah. So if I just close this, reopen it once again. So now we have this article here, right? So we have how to cite references in article. So we have like wherever you cite this, you will get this one. And here you have the citation, you have the DOI. So if you click on this, then you go to this page here, right? So one small thing is that, so we get a full stop here displayed, and then there is one more full stop here in the end, right? So this I normally didn't like, so I wanted to just get rid of this second full stop. So to do that, what I did was, so I just checked on Google how to do this, and there I got like, yeah, if we do this, then that last full stop will go away, right? So I will just use that thing here. So yeah, so just here, so we have this renew command and then find entry punct, and then yeah, just this one. So if I do this, then like this full stop will go away in the end, what we have. Yeah. So if I just open it once again, so now we have this PDF, and like, yeah, we don't have that full stop in the end. So you can do all the modifications which you want to, but this is how we do it. So this is how I do it, and there are other multiple ways to do it, right? So I'm manually creating the .bib file here, right? Which I found quite useful. I mean, in an article, mostly you will cite around, let's say 20 or 30 articles. So you can every time just enter it like this. Now there are also different ways to do this. So there is something called as Mendeley, so which I also used quite often. So Mendeley desktop. And there you can just add it, like you can add this Mendeley extension in the Google Chrome, and from that you can add it in your Mendeley, like directly from the Google Chrome. You can add articles into your Mendeley, and from here as well you can select all the articles and then export it as a .bib file. But what I like from my experience, what I found was like when you make a .bib file using the Mendeley, then it adds a lot of different information. So it adds abstract and all of these things, and sometimes there can be some error which is created when you are trying to cite those particular articles. So in my personal experience, like this is the easiest and the best way to do it. So just make a .bib file, and in there you just copy it from the Google Scholar site, the bibtex thing, and then you just paste it. And in the end, if you want to add this URL thing here, so you just give this addendum and then the hyper reference, and you can add that particular thing here. So just to summarize everything, what you can do is, what we did here was we use this package BibLatex, and there is all these options that we use. So you can change this according to your requirements. Then we also use this package HyperRef, so that we can have this hyper reference, so URL links. And then we add this Bib Resource here, right? So we add this .bib file. So we created one new file where we have actually all the entries and everything. So this is our .bib file. And then, yeah, and then in the end, you just have this print bibliography thing. And in the preferences, in the quick build, we change it to like from PDF LaTeX plus view PDF to PDF LaTeX plus BibLatex plus this thing, right? So this option. So this is how we do it. So please do write in the comments if you have any further questions. And as I said, If you want to know more, like how do I run all of these things locally, so with this tech maker and mictex, so I have already told that in one more in my previous video. So that video link will be in the description. And yeah, you can also do it online on Overleaf, or you can do it locally. So normally I prefer doing it locally. So for example, yeah, so I'm writing this paper here. So yeah, it's really cool that in the end you can have a PDF like this. So you have all the articles here, and you have all the figures and everything, and then in the end you will have the references. Okay, so I hope you like the video. So if you have any question, then just write it in the comments. And whenever you have question, yeah, this is more about practice. Like I have learned all of these things on my own. So it's like, yeah, whenever you want to find out something, then just go to Google, type in your question, and then you will find some link answering your question. So you can read more about BibLatex. And yeah, thank you. And if you have any questions, write it in the comments, and also just Google it. So see you in the next video, and thank you.